Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Michael Forman, and I am here to tell you a little bit about ID theft protection, how to protect yourself. Now, I sell service. If you want to deal with that, I'll deal with that offline. But I am here to tell you about something that's very, very important. First of all, I handed out some flyers. If you would take a look at those flyers, if you don't have some, I have some more. And before we leave, I am going to pick from the ones that I received back, and you will win a shredder, personal shredder. By the way, which is very important with ID theft. Okay, if you don't have flyers, I have right here. I also, I kind of honed my skills from 40 minutes down to 20 minutes. So if you don't mind, I'm going to read off the cards because I don't want to forget anything. Just as a heads up, last year, the FTC, that's the people that the Federal Trade Commission, that is where you complain, where you send in complaints about identity theft. Last year, they said 2 to 3 people will be affected by identity theft.
By what?
2 to 3 years, okay? They said everybody, 2 or 3 people out of 10 will become affected, okay? They say this year, everyone will be affected, okay? That's really big. Now, just as a raise of hands, to raise your hands, how many people have been affected or know somebody who was affected by ID theft? Right?
Talking about fraud, credit cards,
Credit cards,
well,
well,
identity frauds.
Identity theft is very, that's a minor point. As soon as you think of identity theft, you think of credit cards.
Yeah.
And that's really only 17% of ID theft.
Well, I'm one of those, so I got it.
Well, okay, now without raising your hands, because usually about half the people in the room raise their hands and they say, okay, I know my brother was, my sister was, my friend was, whatever, or I was and I'm going through it and so on and so forth. And I then asked the question of, okay, without raising your hands, what are you doing about it? Are you just sticking your head in the sand and saying, it'll never happen to me? Okay? Now, if you're one of those people, please listen up, okay? By the way, identity theft was the #1 complaint to the FTC. Not last year, not the year before, but for the last 15 years. Okay? And you think now, well, wait a second, I've only had a computer for the last 5 years, or I've only had the technology in the last 5 years. But this has been going on for 15 years. You're 3 times more likely to have your ID stolen than to have your car or house broken into. Okay? Now, I'm just going to give you a list, because this all happened within the last 6 months. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Chase, Citibank, Home Depot, Target, the Social Security Office, Experian, the state of Georgia, the state of New York, New Jersey, the state of Texas, the game company VTech, and I love putting this in, the Rockland Nissan car group, okay? In the last 6 months, all of their information was compromised. Okay? So the people that think it'll never happen to me, you do things on a daily basis where something like this will happen to you. It takes you about a minute or so to realize, oh my gosh, I've been compromised, or my identity was stolen. Do you know how long it takes for you to regain that, to get your identity back, or to fix the problems that they've created? On the average, about 600 hours. And the average amount taken is $92,000. Now, me personally, my credit cards were compromised 3 times last year. 3 times. Now, I was like, wait a second, it must be a coincidence. I'm dealing with ID theft, and they're getting me. I don't understand what's going on. But I have Chase Bank, and you know, I'm so in tune with something like this. I check my balances on them every day. Every morning, I wake up, I check the balances, and I'm okay. I checked one morning for Chase. I see a $700 purchase was made right down the road from me. I was like, right down the road, where is this? Well, it was some odd job, you know, place. I walked in, I paid for like a couple of light bulbs with my credit card, and that same day, that night, all of a sudden, I was $700 charge. So I called up Chase and I said, hey, you know, my identity was compromised, and they said, no problem. They canceled that account. They refunded my money. They have a limit that they'll just immediately put the money back in, okay? And they said, look, you can go down to the nearest Chase and just get your card reprinted and you're good as gold. I did that. Within 3 hours, it was all taken care of. The 600 hours, I said, I've got it better. So they called me up about 2 days later and said, hi, this is Chase. Your identity was compromised and everything was taken care of. And they said, how did we do? I said, how did you do before it was stolen or after? And they looked at me, or they didn't look at me. There was a pause. What do you mean? Well, how do you know, what do you mean? How did we do? How'd you do beforehand or after? And that began a whole long conversation, but
600 hours.
It was just bad, but it just, there is no way for you to stop ID theft. There's no way, but it's how well protected you are for after, okay? And I'll go on to explain. Credit cards, okay? Credit cards, I just gave an example of credit cards. And then they came out with that dopey chip. Yeah. They said, we fixed what would happen, and we put the chip in your credit card, and all things are fixed. What's fixed? What are they protecting? Okay? They're protecting so that you can put the credit card in the receptacle when they work and when the company has them. Okay? Most of the time, they don't. Or it doesn't work. Or they say, oh, that function is not working, you'll have to swipe it. Okay? And what if you use your credit cards online? Who has a smartphone? Who has a smartphone? Okay. That smartphone is smarter than your computer was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, you had this great big setup, and you're like, oh, this is fantastic, and now we have a little smartphone, and we are busier, and there are countries out there, I believe India is one of them, where the PC sales are down to next to nothing, and they all work off their cell phone, okay? It's wireless. That means every time you use it, it opens it up. You don't, I don't want to hear that I have a secure setting, or they encrypt this or that, okay? It's wireless. You're letting your information go immediately, and whoever it is to get it will get it. Your social security number, okay? Now, I've really spoke to about 10 Rotaries so far, and I've had at least one person, answer me with this next question. Who here has their social security card on them? Anybody? There's my one, there's two. Okay? Wrong. Please, take that and put that away. You're not gonna need that card for anything other than for you to remember what the number is. Okay? It's not going to serve the purpose, but if somebody were to get your wallet, they have a field day. And I'll get into how they get your information here in a second. But what about your medical ID card, your medical benefits card? I have United Healthcare. Okay? When you walk into a doctor's office, a dentist's office, another type of medical office, what do they ask for? Your driver's license, your medical ID, and your social security number. Okay? Let's start backwards. Social security number. Why do they need it?
Identification is a good question.
Well, not for identification. You just gave them your driver's license and your insurance card. They need it for collection. That's it. Okay? So if you can get by a doctor without giving your social security number, do it. Unless they demand it, then you get into a little bit of an argument, which I did about 6 months ago, but that's a story of another day. So they take your driver's license and they scan it in. They take your medical ID card, they scan it in, and they put it onto their server. Okay? That's where the problems begin. Okay? So now, all of a sudden, somebody wants to hack your doctor, your dentist, or whatever. Okay? They don't have the firewalls that are necessitated by HIPAA, by compliance, anything like that. Okay? They're just pretty much yours, or theirs, or whatever. Okay? So now they're going to compromise. Let's say they're going to break into that network, and they get all your information. They now can become you. What if somebody got your medical ID number with your driver's license number? Okay, now wait a second. They scan the driver's license. It's not difficult for you to, for the person to get their picture on a valid driver's license, New York State driver's license. I have an app in my phone where I can take any driver's license, I can put it up to the screen, and it'll tell me if it's real or not. Usually, you know, bartenders or somebody like that uses that, okay? But I asked my son's friend, he said, yeah, I've got one. He's 18, he has a 21-year-old fake ID. He goes, it'll pass your scanner. I said, oh, come on, it's not gonna pass the scanner. He gave it to me, and it passed. Because he didn't pay $20, he paid $80 to have his ID made, okay? So now they can do anything. They can go into your medical information. They can change your blood type. They can change your medication. They can change any of this. Now, if they changed your blood type, your medication, and you went in and you got some medication, and let's say you don't read it, who, honestly, there's always somebody, no, don't raise your hands, okay, who picks up their stuff, who very quickly goes over their medication and puts it away or puts it and starts filling in there, okay? What happens if they changed your medication, okay? We're getting into serious health issues, okay? Your driver's license, as I just said, you can change, okay, for $80. I can go into New York City if I really want to, but there's a couple places in Rockland County that I can go, give them $80, give them 2 or 3 days, I get back an ID. Now, let's say that you're a Chase customer, okay? I speak a lot of many times to banks and things like that for their employees, but also for their employees to help everyone else. You want to change, you walk in and you say, hi, I'm Michael Forman, I'm terribly sorry, I forgot, I just moved, so I want to change my address, and just give me a couple of blank checks, like 2 or 3. They'll say, okay, let me have your ID. Okay, driver's license, there you go. Now, that's a phony driver's license. They just changed your ID, and they also gave you three or four blank checks. So now, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna write those checks, and who's responsible for that money? You are. Okay? So I just got what I wanted. The bank is gonna come for you and say, look, you're overdrawn on your account. And you're saying, what? I'm overdrawn on my account. How is that possible? Well, it's possible because Joe Blow just wiped you out. It's a scary, scary thing. And really, it used to be where I got my Social Security number in 9th grade. I'll never forget the day. They handed out forms, and about 2 weeks later, I got my Social Security card in the mail, and I was happy. I was the biggest guy in town. And now they don't let you leave the hospital without a Social Security number. By the way, those Social Security numbers have been hacked already. They've already been given out to somebody, 2 and 3 other people. They've already been stolen and sold to 2, 3, 4 other people, so that they can use that number for 10, 15 years before you even check on it. Now, think of your children. When's the first time you checked their Social Security number? Now, if you have a trust or something like that, it may be earlier. Okay? But for the general masses, when? Well, 15, 16 years old, when they get their working papers. I think they still get their working papers now, don't they? I don't know. But that's the first time. So now somebody has been using their number, or that number, for quite some time. We had an incident, somebody in my company, and it wasn't to that person. They were selling a policy, and the woman said, she got on the phone, and she called up and she said, I want the job, or whatever the case may be. And she looked it up and she said, well, you work here already. Because now, I'm in New Jersey, and the person I'm calling is in Tennessee. They said, what do you mean I work there already? It says right here, you've been working here for 5 years. So after about 6 months investigation, they got the person, it's a woman, who has that Social Security number. And they went to her and they said, is this your Social Security number? She said, yes. By the way, with ID theft, you're guilty until proven innocent. Not the way this country was founded, but you're guilty until proven innocent, because the person who stole your number, by the way, because now you're saying they stole it. They're saying, yeah, prove it. But she said, yes, it's mine. She goes, well, no, it's, I bought it about 10 years ago. I bought it to work. All she needed was to get into the system, and that's it. She didn't file any taxes, she didn't do anything, and filing taxes is a whole nother burden. Filing taxes is, if you file your taxes, and all of a sudden, you do it electronically, and you send out the taxes, they say, no, stop. You've already filed your taxes. What do you mean I've already filed my taxes? No, I'm just giving it to you now. No, somebody else filed it. My information is with 6 or 7 different accountants, and I get about 10 calls a year from each one, saying, what do I do? I say, well, it's a little late now. It's like closing the barn doors after the horses have gone. But start, you can start now. And you have to get a 4-digit code, get your taxes, and then you have to go through everything to prove that you didn't file it. What happens? What are you going to do? It usually takes about 3 to 6 months. You'll wind up winning. You'll wind up getting your refund or whatever the case may be. But the person who filed your taxes already received that $3,000 refund, and there's no way to catch it. Okay. There's current ID dangers. Okay. There's skimming. Okay? Who here knows what skimming is? You know what skimming is? One third, right? Okay, about a third of you. Okay, a third of you, I can walk, now think of yourself in a mall, think of yourself in an airport, think of yourself anywhere else where it's busy, where it's so busy, you're like this close to somebody, okay? How many times a day do you go into a situation where you're walking even in a line, okay? Now, how close? Now, if this is a person, okay, this is a person, okay? I have a skimmer. A skimmer is a little device about 4 inches by 4 inches attached to something in my wallet. And I do this. This is how close I am, okay? I do this. Now, you'll never pick up on that. Never in a million years. Well, what did I just take? I took you. I took your name, your address, your social security number, your credit card information, your driver's license information. I took everything.
So the device scans your
The device can pick all that up, okay? There is something called an RFID wallet or RFID sleeve, okay? You put your credit cards in that, your wallet in that, and you're safe, okay? Because that protects it, okay? But the majority of people don't have that. And they take that information out, they put it into their computer, and there you are. You're all right there, okay? Yes?
You might want to mention on ATMs, if you go to an ATM machine, take a good look at it. If you see it doesn't look normal, it could be the device on the ATM, a skimmer.
Yes. Now the skimmer, there was something
I'm sorry,
last,
John, I just wanted-
last night, by the way. Last night, they were showing, I forgot what country it was. They were traveling outside the country, and just for some reason, they noticed that where you put the credit card in, it looked a little bit bigger. And he went by and he touched it, and he pulled out the skimmer. Now, somebody being so busy, okay, walked right up, put it right in, put it up, take the number down, right, and walk away. Okay, how many times did that happen? If he didn't just pick that up, okay? It can happen anywhere. It happened to me, okay? It happened to me. It was a station in Jersey, a gas station. And you give your card, and I always watch what they do, okay? I watch what they do, and all of a sudden, he went down, took something out of his pocket, went up to the car, put it back, just like that fast. I got out of my car, and I said, "What's in your pocket?" And all of a sudden, he didn't know English. No, I didn't say $5, $10, $15 regular. I said, "What, tell me right now." And I immediately called 911. And he turned white, like, oh my God, I'm caught. And about 10 minutes later, he was sitting in the back of the police car. Okay, the police were very good. They got there in about 4 minutes. Okay, and he didn't try to go because I was standing right there. Okay, that's just one time. Yes.
How much protection do the chip cards offer?
Honestly, it doesn't.
They
The
can
chips.
Still, they can still skim it from a wave.
Well, with the skimmer.
With a wave, yeah.
Yes, yes. The chip only helps you when it uses the receptacle. Okay, and that's for that one time, and that's it. Anytime they call you, anytime anybody calls you, they can purchase phone numbers. They can purchase, so you look at your caller ID and they say, "Oh, Rockland County Sheriff's Department." That's okay, right? Okay, look, they're calling up, "Hi, this is Sheriff so-and-so, whatever, we need $3,000 or whatever the case may be, or we're going to arrest you, or whatever the case may be." No, they can buy those ID numbers. They can call you with that number. Again, there's an app in my phone. I can call you with your number and change my voice to a woman. Okay? So if you If you are not 100% sure that she is who she says she is, say, you know something, wait a second, I'll call you back. Okay? It's really, technology has gotten to be that easy. Obvious passwords. The number one password in the United States?
Password.
Password. You know what the number two is?
Correct.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6. Okay, those, you laugh at it, it's funny, ha ha ha, it's true.
That's true, especially at like many companies, that's what they do.
That's what
Many
they do,
companies
in
have
case
it.
they want you to just know it, okay? I used to be in IT, and my number one password used to be FUBAR. Okay, if I tell you what FUBAR is, it's not worth it. Okay, you're welcome. Very quickly, do not mail bills from your home. Okay? Who
Goes to the
still
post
uses
office.
their own mailbox to mail? Okay, okay. Stop. Stop. Because all they have to do is wait for you to walk away, wait 10 minutes, go in, take that information, and just take it. Now, when are you going to find out? Next month. Because, well, I paid that bill. What are you talking about? They've had a month now. They have your name, your address, your checking account number. Okay? Now, the rest of the easy, going through Facebook and LinkedIn and everything else, they'll find out your birthday, your pets' names, your everything else. Be very, very careful with social media. They're not just coming after you for you. They're coming after you for social media too. Because they collect your Facebook account. They collect your LinkedIn account. I'm very big on LinkedIn. Okay, that's very big for business. Okay, but you have to look out for all that.